गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वदादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्. We are in Bhagavatam, Canto 10, second part, and chapter 50. And here we saw last week how our Jarasandh had attacked with a huge army the Mathura Nagari, where Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna and Balram, they both are there. And our Lord, this Jarasandh, we calculated all the 20 times 3 Akshahinis, that much huge army. And anyone, when you look at that type of army, will be flabbergasted what to do. All the people in the Mathura Nagari, they were afraid, they were scared, they were everyone looking at each other, but everyone knows that there is one savior. And who is the savior? Our Krishna Bhagavan and Balram. But they are also thinking what to do now. And that time Krishna Bhagavan tells Balram a strategy. And what is that strategy? The strategy is that we will leave Jarasandh alone and kill the whole army. Why? Because if we leave the most evil fellow alone, he will collect more evil people. Why we have taken birth on the planet? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Lord says, many times before also we have come. This time also we have come only for one purpose, to re-establish dharma and destroy the evil and protect the good. So how, instead of us running around everywhere and finding the evil fellows, which holes they are hiding in, we don't know. Then what do? Leave the baddie. He will collect all of them. So we'll finish all the baddies in his army. He'll be left alone. He will collect again all the baddies and he'll come to fight. Again we'll finish everyone and we'll leave him alone. And this way he will do our job of collecting everyone together. Dekho Krishna Leela. Huh? And in this way they both come to this stratagem, and where are we now? Today we have to start from we did this the Krishna and Balram, here in the 36th verse, they destroyed the entire army. We did this part, but I am going to do it again. They destroyed the entire army of the Jarasandh, and not even one person from their army. And that was not an army, it was just a small contingent. Lord, Lord, if he just says, finish, everyone will be dead. But he has to play the game, extend the story. His story, the whole Bhagavatam story is that contemplate on the Lord and be one with the Lord. But that, acha, bas, itna hi hai. But to get that point across, a Leela is created, isn't it? So here, Bhagwan, all his army, not even one scratch on them, even after they have killed the entire 60 Akshauhinis of army. This is only possible, subjectively, this is only possible when you are the witness. Scratching, getting cut, getting hurt, getting bruised only happens when we give value and attention to the unwanted thoughts in your mind. Correct or not? Then only we get scratched by that thought. So keep them away, keep them, remain undisturbed by them. And this way, and when they all come back into the Mathura Nagari, the entire, the entire citizens of Mathura, they applauded and they chanted. And how did they welcome? See, when you just have become free of the fear of annihilation, imagine you are in an accident, or you are playing and you are on a swing and suddenly you fell down. And then you find, arey, niche to mattress tha. There was a mattress. Where did this mattress come from? I don't know. It was a grass mattress. Once what happened, I was maybe Saket's age, 7, 8 years old. And near the Safdarjung airport in Delhi, there is a Hanuman Mandir, very old Hanuman Mandir. And there used to be one Mahatma there. And from our house, we used to go every month at least once. We will go to that mandir because beautiful. Chota sa jungle. Now it is all embassy area, but that time. And there was a cave. And sometimes I had seen someone coming out of the cave from the other side, and there is no water in this cave. I used to ask my parents, where is the cave? Where is the cave? Why? Where is the water? Where is the water? No water. Don't look inside. You will fall. You will hurt yourself. This, that. But you know, inquisitiveness kills a cat. And I wanted to explore. And one day, while looking, so I can't go down. So I was just hanging as far as I could, and I fell. I fell into the cave, into the well, not cave, into the well. And everyone is screaming. I got up, walked through the tunnel that was there and came out on the other side, and they're all screaming, Hamara bacha mar gaya, hamara bacha gir gaya, hamara ye ho gaya. And I was looking, what are they doing? I went back. That's a different matter. That falling into the well was not that, did not bring me that much misery, because I landed on a moss. There was all moss underneath. But after coming out, I was more miserable because I got beatings. See? But when I went through that whole process of falling down, I was screaming away. But when I fell down and got up, nothing, man. This is cool. Let's try again. So whenever we are in some incident of great fear, after that there is great joy when we come through it, isn't it? So here all the Mathuravasis, they have been so afraid of their death, and now Krishna Bhagavan, they have faith in Lord, no doubt. But they have to see that he has killed Kamsa, it's okay, but this entire 60 Akshauhinis, this such a huge, millions of soldiers, how are they going to be able to do it? And they do it, and they all come back unscathed At that time, all the gods showered the flowers. The Brahmanas in Mathura, they sang all the Vedic mantras. The girls danced, and oh, it was a festival. It's an unending festival, and in this way they were welcomed. Uh, and when they came back, uh, uh, the Lord presented to the king, that is the Ugrasen, the entire wealth that they had collected from the uh, slain army. What is the wealth that they will get from the slain army? Now they don't have to produce weapons. All weapons came. All the bows, arrows, chariots, what you call the gold, the copper, the iron, the silver, everything that was there. They collected and they brought and went into their treasury. Suddenly, the Vrishnis, they became Yadavas. They became suddenly very rich. Imagine millions of. If there are, suppose 1 million were there, those numbers. 1 million swords, 1 million headgear, 1 million armbands, 1 million everything that each one was carrying, all that became theirs. And after that, now we start from this verse 42 onwards. एवं सप्तदश कृत्वः तावत्यक्षौहिणी बलः युयुधे मागधो राजा यदुभिः कृष्णपालितैः अक्षिण्वंस्तद्बलं सर्वं पुरुष्णाय कृष्णतेजसा हतेषु स्वेष्वनिकेषु त्यक्तो यादरिभिर्नृपः संग्राम आगामिनी तदंतरा नारद प्रेषितो वीरो यवनः प्रत्यदृश्यत रुरोध मथुरामेत्य तिसृभिर्म्लेच्छ कोटिभिः नृलोकं चाप्रतिद्वन्द्वो वृष्णि श्रुत्वात्म सम्मितान्. No, we'll stop there. And each time, now this is not the first time that our Jarasandh, that what we just now read was the first time Jarasandh attacked. Like that, Sabdadasha, 17 times he came and 17 times Krishna Bhagavan and Balram destroyed their entire army. Imagine how many evil people were there that time. Imagine. And every year he will collect and bring them to cut. Huh? Wholesale. भगवान का काम easy हो गया. And then came the 18th time. Because see, even the negative thoughts in our mind are very persistent. They don't leave us that easily. We control our senses, we control our mind, and after control, still it is not leaving us. Still those negative thoughts, somehow they will find a way to enter. Until and unless our mind is not surrendered to the Lord, till then negative thoughts will come. They will find a way. As long as you are thinking about the world, the negative thoughts will come. So this Jarasandha represents that. This fellow is coming again and again and again and again. So which means, just like Krishna destroyed the entire army of Jarasandha 17 times, you should also not sit back. Nahi, Bhagavan take care. You keep doing what is required to be done. You have to put efforts. Nahi, Bhagavan will, when Bhagavan wants, he will control the senses. When Bhagavan wants, he will control the desires. Then what will you do? I'll wait. No. That is not the way. If you feel that you have to, because you cannot stay without doing anything, you have to do some karma, some action has to be taken place. So what is that? control your senses, control your mind, live a disciplined life, and all the karmanyeva and all that, keep following that, all the principles. How? In a dedicate all those efforts that you are putting in your life to perfect yourself. See that those efforts as an prompt of the divine, not your doing, but we must do them. When will no, but Lord, no, that also is Lord. And when they drop away, they drop away. When you mature, when you grow up, you will grow up. You will come to know when you have grown up. A child doesn't say, I'm going to stop playing with toys. Why? No, after growing up, I have to give up toys. I'll give up now. Does the child give up? Do you give up? No. You continue playing. Then when you grow up, automatically you don't even realize that you have dropped playing with the toys. Exactly the same way. If you are focusing on giving up the negative thoughts, big problem. Because you are focusing on them more. You're focusing on them more. If you try to give up anger, anger will increase. It will not go. All this idea of let go, grow out of, all this is okay. But how to, that is very important. It must be happening as the divine happening. Allow the Lord, allow the remembrance of the Lord, allow the gratitude of the Lord, allow the grace of the Lord, allow your thinking about the Lord incessantly, lovingly, divinely, faithfully, sincerely, dedicatedly, to clean up your mind. Mathuravasis did not do anything. What did they do? Krishna Bhagavan, don't worry. Took a few, finished, everyone came back. 17 times. 18 times also he did. But then one more problem came up. One more problem came up. And what was that? This Yavana Maharaj. Yavanas are coming from the west. And this fellow, he came with a 1 million strong army. Why did he come? Prompted by Narad Muni. Why was he prompted? Let's see. This is a very interesting story now. In the 44th, Ashtadashama Sangrama, read someone. Asamini tadantara Narada preshito viro Yavana pratyadrushyata. Suddenly they found, inspired, Narada preshito, inspired by Narad Muni, this Yavana, because Yavana was so strong, he had a boon that he cannot be killed. Only a certain condition, just like Ravan. So he was looking for a formidable enemy who can give uski maat ka, Like Jarasandha is also looking for someone who can fight him. So when Krishna takes Arjuna and Bhim, he says, Krishna, tu to ran chhod hai, tere saath nahi main ladunga. Arjun, you don't look as strong as I am, You are the younger one. No, Bhim, he looks my style. And he chooses Bhim to fight the duel. That will come afterwards. So same way, from this side, Jarasandha, and from this side, Yavana. Both have attacked Mathura Nagari. Now what to do? Krishna Bhagavan says that if we go on this side, Jarasandha will annihilate the entire society of Yadavas. If we go that side, Yavana Maharaj will come and destroy everything that we know of. Now what to do? So let's see. Today my eyes are tam drashtva chintayat krishnaha sankarshana sahavayavan aho yadunam vrujinam praptam hyabhuyato mahata yavanoyam niruddhe sman adya tavan mahabalaha magadhopyadya पार्श्वो वागमयिष्यति आवयोर्युध्यतो रस्य यद्यागन्ता जरासुतः बन्धून् वधिष्यत्यथवा नेष्यते स्वपुरं बली तत्तस्मादमो दुर्गम द्विपद दुर्गमं तत्र ज्ञातेन समाधाय यवनं धातयामहे. कंटिन्यू. इति सामन्त्रे मघवान् दुर्गं द्वादशयोजनम् अन्तःसमुद्रे नगरं कृत्स्नाद्भुतमचीकरत्. दृश्यते यत्र हि त्वाष्ट्रं विज्ञानं शिल्पनैपुणं रथ्या चत्वरविधिभिः यथा वास्तु विनिर्मितं सुरद्रुमलोतोद्यान विचित्रोपवनान्वितं हेमशृङ्गैर्विस्पृग्भिः स्फाटिकाट्टालगोपुरैः राजतारकुटैकोष्ठैः हेमकुम्भैरलङ्कृतैः रत्नकूटैर्गृहैर्हैर्भैः महामरकतातस्थलैः वास्तोष्पतीनां च गृहैः वलभिभिश्च निर्मितं चातुर्वर्ण्यजनाकीर्णं यदुदेव गृहोल्लसत्. सुधर्मा पारिजातं च महेन्द्रं प्राहिणोद्धरेः यत्र चावस्थितो मर्त्यो मर्त्यर्धर्मेण युज्यते. श्यामैर्वरुणो हयाच्छुन्नान् मनोजवान् अष्टौ निधिपतिक्योषान् लोकपालो निजोदयान् यद्यद् भगवता दत्तम् आधिपत्यं स्वसिद्धये सर्वं प्रत्यर्पयामासुः हरौ भूमिगते नृप. तत्र योगप्रभावेण नीत्वा सर्वजनं हरिः प्रजापालेन रामेण कृष्णसमनुमन्त्रितः निर्जगामपुरद्धारात् पद्ममालीनिरायुधः निर्जगामपुरद्वारात् पद्ममालीनिरायुधः. Here seeing this tam drushtva chintayat Krishna. Tam drushtva, having seen this fellow, drushtva, having seen Yavana, Lord Krishna started contemplating. Chintayat. Sankarshana Sahayavan, along with the help of our Sankarshana is Balramji. Sahayavan, you understand, with the help. Aho yadunam vrujinam praptam hyubhayato mahata. Are baapre, big sankat has come on the Yadus. How do we get out of this? A great calamity has overcome us, and by one side Kalayavan and one side Jarasan, both these evil fellows are indestructible. Jarasan, you know, Krishna knows how to kill, but he is leaving him because different purpose. He wants him to be killed by Bhim, and till then he wants him to collect everyone. And on this side, Kalayavan, also indestructible, he's got the boon of Shiva. How to kill him? And this way, they both they started thinking, and then where are we? Drushyate yatra hi twashtram vijnanam shilpa naipunam rathva, what is it? Rathya chatvara vidhibhihi yatha vastu vinirmitam. And in this way, when they were thinking, and while both are getting engaged and they are thinking of what to do with these two, Kalayavan and he says what I told you before, Krishna Bhagavan is thinking that if we deal with Kalayavan, Jarasandh will very quickly come with his army the 18th time. He has not come yet, but he is planning. And if we deal with him, then Kalayavan will destroy. So what to do at that time? Thinking in this manner, in the 50th verse, is the Lord thought of building a place where nobody can enter. And in the 50th verse, where is that? Iti samantre bhagavan durgam dvadashayojanam anta samudre nagaram krutsnat bhutamachikarat. Iti samantre bhagavan durgam dvadashayojanam. 12 kilometers. Yojana is, I think it's more than kilometers, but that distance, he finds a place, because Krishna Bhagavan is all knowing. So he finds a place in the middle of the ocean, 12 yojanas away from the land, into the ocean, which is nobody can reach that place. No army can come there. And he plans to build a fortress in that place, which will protect all the Yaduvanshis from this continuous onslaught by Jarasandh and now Kalayavan also. And in this way, thinking in this manner, he calls Vishwakarma. And here it was told, so I will not read all this again. So he calls Vishwakarma, and Vishwakarma is the architect of the gods, and he comes and builds the Dwarka Nagari. And how has he built? He has built it with everything is absolutely exquisite. Absolutely exquisite. There is total harmony from Vastu point of view, from the elemental point of view, from the astrological point of view, from all points of view, there is absolute harmony inside the Dwarka. Yet Dwarka got destroyed. Don't forget that part. Nothing in this creation that is created, as holy or as divine it may be, it will one day get destroyed.
1.6 kilometers one yojana.
Huh?
1.6 kilometers one yojana.
Okay, so there you go. So calculate now quickly.
150 kilometers.
150 kilometers. Okay. So the Vishwakarma created and containing all different things with expert knowledge of architecture and science attributed to Twashta, the architect of the gods, as well as the masonry and the architecture and the statues and the themes that were created. Absolutely wonderful. And in this way, when this was built, then gods were very happy. They also blessed. And how did they bless? Indra Bhagwan, he presented Dwarka Nagari with the, what is it called? Sudharma Parijatam cha Mahendra Prahino Dharehe. So Sudharma is the hall in in the heaven. When meetings are held, what is our problem when we have a satsang here? प्यास लगती है, भूख लगती है ना? You get disturbed. Sudharma is where there is no disturbance of hunger and thirst. Everyone is content. Never. So your meeting can go. Satsang can continuously go all over. पागल हो जाएंगे. And then Parijat tree, which is in the heaven, उसकी भी अलग story है. How these two came down to Dwarka, that's a different story. And they what do you call? They provided with the gardens consisting of celestial trees and creepers, as well as with crystals and from the heavens, and domes of gold and barns of silver and brass, adorned with gold pitchers, houses of gold with tops of jewels and floors of emerald, and temples dedicated to all the different gods of that time, and and the deities presiding over the foundation of houses and homesteads and wooden sheds on the roofs of houses. The city was crowded with men belonging to the four orders of society and shone forth with palaces belonging to the rulers of Yadu, Ugrasen and Vasudeva, Balarama and Sri Krishna. The great Indra sent from heaven the Sudharma assembly hall and the Parijata tree, which is the tree among all the trees, and stationed in the shade of which where the if the in the shade of which a mortal does not remain tied down to the characteristics of mortals. Meaning what? All those low desires, low needs, which are basically wanting to satisfy your body, all those, when you stand under the Parijata tree, all those base desires are gone. And in this way, at that time, Kuber Bhagwan, who is Kuber? He's the treasure of how he's got all the treasure, not only the physical treasure but other treasures also. And he presented all this. Here it says all the 7 different treasures he blessed with to the Dwarka Nagari, and he also 8 treasures, not 7 treasures, and the guardians of other spheres, the riches. And who else? Varuna, the god of water. He gave the white horses with one dark ear and one white ear, and in this way, then eventually the Lord Sri Krishna himself comes down to the earth. Sri Hari himself having come down to the earth in the form of Sri Krishna. This is the opportunity that all the gods are getting, that to serve the Lord. They have promised him already. Brahmaji has tested that he is Krishna. You remember in the Bala Leela, he has tested. Indra also has tested. Now it is confirmed that he is our Narayana who has come down on earth. Now whatever he does, they have to follow their promise. So they are all coming to help, because it is a great opportunity for them to be of service to the Lord. And in this way, the Lord, now see what the Lord says. Now how to bring all the people into yad bhagavata dattam adhipatyam swasiddhaye sarvam pratyayamasuhu harau bhumi gate nrupa tatra yoga prabhavena nitva sarvajanam harihi prajapalena ramena krishna samanumantritaha. Bhagavan said, Balramji, elder brother, you are the protector of all Mathura, aren't you? He said, yes, you stay here. Protecting it. And what are you going to do? He says, you watch. What does he do? He says, all Mathura Vasis, close your eyes. And he invokes his Yogamaya. And he says, open your eyes. All of them find themselves in Dwarka Nagari. It was not a trek from Mathura till Dwarka. It was not a bushwalk. It was not a caravan. It was instantaneous. And they all find themselves in Dwarka Nagari. And then what does he do? It's very funny. After that, रणछोड़ बोलते हैं ना यहाँ पे अभी उनका नाम रणछोड़ पड़ेगा. Here he says, where are we? With this, transferring all the people to the Mathura, to that retreat by his Yogamaya Shakti, and having talked to Balramji, who was looking after the rest of the people at Mathura, Sri Krishna came out of the city of gate. So, सब कुछ कर दिया. लोगों को, people have gone to Dwarka. Balramji is here with the rest of few of them, those who are ready to fight. And Krishna Bhagwan goes out of the gate. And how does he go out of the gate? Suddenly he issues forth 2 more arms. So Chaturbhuj. And he moves out and closes the gate. The gate is closed behind. Yavana Maharaj, the king Yavana who has come with the million strong army, he sees, ये really यार ये कौन आ गया, four armed, and he has heard from Narad Muni all about Krishna Bhagwan, that he is a formidable foe, he will give you the takkar. And he is looking, ये तो छोटा सा है, he is not even a big build, he is not having any muscles, but he is very beautiful, he is very good to look at, and he got captivated by him. And he is looking, gets down from his chariot, starts walking towards him, and the moment he comes close to him, Krishna starts running. Krishna Bhagavan starts running. And when he starts running, this fellow, he says, "Where are you running, Krishna? I thought they say that you are the most powerful one, you are the most, in your, you have got great prowess, you have got great vitality. Give me a fight, I want a fight." And Krishna is running away. And Yavana is running, also very fast. Every time he feels that he has just caught, Krishna goes ahead. And he keeps running, and what happens after that, we will see in the 51st chapter. Anyway, here, इति श्रीमद् भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां दशमस्कन्धे उत्तरार्धे दुर्गनिवेशनं नाम पंचाशत्तमोऽध्यायः. With that we concluded the 50th chapter. Now in the 51st, अथैकपञ्चाशत्तमोऽध्यायः. Kalayavan gets burnt and King Machukunda glorifies the Lord. Shri Shuka Uvacha. एक मिनट. श्री शुक उवाच तं विलोक्य विनिष्करान्तं उज्जिहानमिवोडुपं दर्शनीयतमं श्यामं पीतकौशेयवासमं श्रीवत्सवक्षसम्भ्राजत् कौस्तुभामुक्तकन्धरं पृथुदीर्घचतुर्बाहुं नवकञ्जारुणेक्षणं नित्यप्रमुदितं श्रीमत् सुकपोलं शुचिस्मितं मुखारविन्दं बिभ्राणं स्फुरन्मकरकुण्डलं वासुदेवो ह्यमिति पुमाश्रीवत्सलाञ्छनः चतुर्भुजोरविन्दाक्षो वनमाल्यति सुन्दरः लक्षणैर्नारदप्रोक्तैः नान्यो भवितुमर्हति निरायुधश्चलन् बद्भ्यां योत्स्येनेन निरायुधः इति निश्चित्य यवनः प्राद्रवन्तः पराङ्मुखम् अन्वधावज्जिधृक्षुस्तं दुरापमपि योगिनां हस्तप्राप्तमिवात्मानं हरिणा सपदे पदे नीतो दर्शयता दूरं यवनेशोद्रिकन्दरं पलायनं यदुकुले जातस्य तव न्योचितम् इति क्षिपन्ननुगतो नैनं पापाहता शुभः एवं क्षिप्तोऽपि भगवान् प्राविशद्गिरिकन्दरं सोऽपि तत्रान्यं शयानं ददृशे नरं नन्वसौ दूरमानीय शेते मामिह साधुवत इति मत्वाच्युतं मूढः तं पदासमताडयत स उत्थाय चिरं सुप्तः शनैरुन्मील्य लोचने दिशो विलोकयन् पार्श्वे तमद्राक्षीदवस्थितं स तावतस्य रुष्टस्य दृष्टिपातेन भारत देहजेनाग्निना दग्धो भस्मसादभवत् क्षणात्. So here the story goes, as I have told you before, that this Yavana, he looked at Sri Krishna emerging from the gates of Mathura Nagari. And how did he see him? He saw him like a rising moon, and he saw him as the most charming, beautiful, captivating, with the Makara Kundala, with Pitambar. All that whole description is given, that with the curly hair and the yellow Pitambar, and with the Srivatsa on his chest, on his bosom, and his neck adorned with the Kaustuba mala, the Kaustuba gem, and the four long arms, and the eyes, beautifully shaped eyes with the lotus face, and full of joy. This is one thing very important. What is that? Whatever Lord does, He never does it in anger, He never does it in frustration. He always does it with joy. So He is going single-handed, no, four-handedly, four-handedly to meet Kalaivan. But He has got a joy on His face. You'll never see the joy doing any action in a serious mode. Why? Why? Because even Kalaivan is not other than him. That is his vision, isn't it? So when you are playing a game, when you are playing a Leela, you are always having fun only, isn't it? For us, oh my God, he went by himself to fight with the whole 1 million army for him. मैं नहीं पैदा किया, मैं ही मारने वाला हूँ. No, fighting with myself, not with kids. Because none is outside of him. Does water become the killer of all the waves? Or does the water become the producer of all the waves? From the water's point of view, there are no waves. Everything is he alone. Only idiots call that water as wave. Isn't it? Same way. At a relative level, yes, all this diversity is there. But that diversity is not separate from divinity. Divinity itself has become the diversity. And wherever there is diversity or duality, duality is always of opposites. So there is good and there is bad. So does not mean that bad is other than the divine. Bad is also nothing but divine. But why the Lord does not take the side of the bad? Because they are not righteous. That's why He doesn't take the side. But He has got no hatred towards them. He has not got any dislike towards them. And that is a lesson for us, that do not have any issue, do not have any energy towards the negative thoughts that erupt in your mind. Because if you have some energy towards those thoughts, they will pursue you. How do you give energy? By value and attention. ये क्या हो रहा है? बंद कर दे यार. हाँ. By giving value and attention, we transfer our energy to the thoughts, isn't it? So accept. अरे आ गया, अब क्या आएगा? Now what will come? Now who will come? Now which one will come? Now which God will come? Acha, God has come, now Rakshasa has to come. Which one? Let's see. Watch a movie. Today I was watching Karna. And in that Karna, Krishna's son Samba, he has abducted Duryodhana's daughter. So here Abhimanyu is getting married to Uttara, and Shakuni plays a game of dice, and he says, we would like to marry Duryodhana's daughter to Uttara. So they will get the army, because they know war is coming. So all deals are going on. But this girl, she has already given her heart to Krishna's son Samba. And she tells, and who is the messenger? Karna's son. And Karna's son has taken a vow, Dad, if you come in my life next time, either you will live or I will live. See, all full drama. And then they escape, and they catch, Karna catches them. and then Duryodhana comes, and then Shakuni comes, then Krishna comes with his what you call Duryodhana's daughter, and everyone is there. Balram is also there. He says, I will not, I dare, you cannot touch any one of the Yadus. While I am there, forget it. He says, I'll fight. Duryodhana says, it is question of my honor, it is question of my respect. Sam from behind says, where was the respect of that Bhanumati whom you abducted against her will and produced a child, this child? This daughter of yours, I have not taken her away without her will. She has come willingly, and she says, yes, I have come willingly. So, insult after insult. War is coming. But Krishna is standing. He is waiting. All this drama is going on. Krishna is just with a smile on his face, watching how it will unfold. Is he having hatred towards Duryodhana? Is he having hatred towards his son? He also abducted Rukmini. They say, what do you say? He says, I don't mind. I don't mind. I am on the side of love, he says. So Shakuni says, so you agree for this marriage between Sam and what do you call that Lakshmana, with Lakshmana? He says yes, but the offer must come from Duryodhana. You are not the father. And now what will happen, we'll see next on Monday. See, this is, but what is Krishna doing here? He is being righteous. He is doing according to the rules of those times. According to the rules of those times, he is functioning. On one hand, he said, I am for love. And he accepts that they both have run away with each other. He has not kidnapped the girl. She has come by herself. She has come by herself. So, when we think in our mind about various thoughts that erupt in our mind, we must have this type of disposition. We must be like Krishna. Watch. Don't associate with them. Don't उसकी बाल की खाल मत निकालो. अच्छा ऐसे क्यों हुआ, वैसे क्यों हुआ. एक बंदा है, उसको जॉब से उसको he was in the meeting, and in the meeting the boss said something and he said something, and he said, boss, why are you charging the people in the fitness club so much money? He says, it's none of your business, it's my business. I will charge whatever I want. Your job is as a salesman, you just do the sales. If you can't do the sales, get out. Now, his problem. Who's this salesman's problem? Why does he charge? He is unethical. It is his business. He can decide whatever the price. Who are you to dictate? No, he is looting them. Who are you? Do you have the authority? ये खुरापाती फालतू का खुरापाती. Creating an issue out of nothing. It is his business. He has invested. He needs the returns. And he will face the consequences of his decisions. Who are you as a salesman to dictate to the owner of the business how he should run the business? But why? There is no answer to why. ऐसे ही होता है. See? So here Krishna Bhagwan is being neutral to both the parties. We must also be neutral to both the parties. Who are the parties? The good thoughts as well as the bad thoughts. The good experiences and the bad experiences. Don't react, don't get excited when good experiences happen. Don't get dejected when bad experiences come to you. Both come not because you demanded them. They come because of your karmas. Whatever actions you have done in the past, their result, the good deeds that you have done in the past, their result is good experiences. Bad deeds that you have done in the past, their result is bad experiences. So accept them, remain neutral, let them flush it out of your system and let your mind become empty. Many people have this problem of how to control the mind. It's just continuously going. Non-stop. This is the way. Can you stop the waves from appearing on the water? Then how can you stop the impact of the waves? How can you stop the impact of the waves? Except what? Dive deep into the water. Impact of the waves is gone. Right? Dive deep. The moment you dive deep. So where are the thoughts appearing? In your mind. Isn't it? Dive deep into the mind. How do you dive deep into the mind? Between the two thoughts, between the two breaths, dive deep. Catch it there. Because waves are only on the surface. They don't disturb the immensity of the water. Their capacity of destruction on the top is very, very minimal. But we take that to be so real. Baap re, or tsunami aa gayi. But तुम समुद्र के नीचे, if you are in a, what do you call, in the submarine, somewhere deep, tsunami आके चली गई. अच्छा पता नहीं है कहाँ गई. Nothing, no impact. Same way with us also. If we are immersed in the depth of contemplating on divinity in our mind, or thinking of empty space, thinking of that point between the two breaths, we are diving deep into the waters of the mind. And what is essentially the mind? Consciousness. Thoughts are appearing only, just like waves appear on the huge body of water only on the surface. Thoughts appear only on the surface of the consciousness. Only on the surface. This is given in our scriptures by the Lord, that the whole creation is only a tiny, mini iota of a dot, a minuscule dot on the right toenail of mine. Meaning it's insignificant. From the oceans or the water's point of view, the waves are insignificant. They got no reality whatsoever. But we give them so much reality, meaning the thoughts, and become caught up in our own trap of thinking. Watch thinking as a phenomena rather than I am the thinker. Get out. Stop being the thinker. Allow thinking to happen. You cannot control it. It's a phenomena. Ocean cannot say I don't want waves. Sometimes there is waves, sometimes there is no waves. Sometimes there are many waves, sometimes there is big waves, sometimes there is small waves. Is there any control? Does ocean exercise any control? You also don't exercise any control. And be happy, as Swamiji says. See? So go to the source. This understanding is important, that the thoughts are only on the surface of consciousness. Thoughts are not real. Just like waves are not real, ornaments are not real. Why waves are not real? Water is real, wave is not a real. You are touching, tasting, feeling water and you are calling it a wave. Bewkoof. You are touching, tasting, feeling gold and you are calling it an ornament. Same way, we are seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, thinking, remembering only consciousness, only the divinity. But we are caught up in the appearance. And the only way to come out of it is first smile at all of that. Because when you smile at it, the impact of theirs reduces. Krishna Bhagwan, he never approaches anything in anger. He with a smile first. So here Krishna Bhagwan, where are we? With a bright smile, and he has got the Makara Kundala. And then Vasudevo Hyamiti Puman Shri Vatsalanchanaha Chaturbhujo Ravindaksho Anamalyati Sundaraha. So, seeing all these aspects of the Lord from far away, and remembering, yeah, Narad Muni told me that this is how Krishna looks. He comes to the conclusion, this is the fellow. This is the fellow I have come for from so far away. And again, the same thing has been repeated. Whatever was just now told, the lotus eyes, the lotus face, the, the, what do you call? Samantaka, Kaustubhamani, and the Chaturbhuj arms, and Pitambar. Same thing it is repeated in the Bhagavatam, not for because they have forgotten that they had mentioned it before. They are mentioning it again so that it impresses on our mind. It impresses on our mind. It is very easy for us to remember a form. It is difficult for us to remember the name. So the easiest thing is, what if you can imagine a picture, then subtler than the picture is the name, the sound. Subtler than the sound is the silence. Subtler than the silence is the conscious silence. This is the process. So everywhere the opportunities get, our Shukdevji gets, he immediately tells, Bhagwan, aa gaye, Chaturbhuj Bhagwan. Same with the Moor Pank, with the Makar Kundal, with the Kaustubhamani, with the Pitambar, etc., etc. And in this way, he saw the characteristics of this most wonderful, handsome person standing with 4 arms in front of him with lotus-like eyes, and he concluded that he must be the Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, and it cannot be anybody else, as said by Narad Muniji, and resolving that, and when he sees that Krishna Bhagavan has come without any arms and ammunition, only 4 arms, that's it. He says, Arey, I cannot stand on the chariot and fight with him. I cannot take Astra and Shastra and fight with him. I'll fight with him as he has come. That was the code of honor, among the Kshatriyas. If you have a gun, I'll have a gun. If you have a churi, I'll have a churi. If you're wrestling, I'll wrestle. So when Jarasandh challenges, when Bhim challenges, he says, who will fight with me? And how will you find? You choose your weapon. And Bhim says, nahi, mere ko weapon ki I didn't bring any weapon, only arms. Okay, even better. That was their code. आजकल कोई code नहीं है कलयुग में. But we must, that was the principles that they followed. And the moment this Yavana Maharaj, Kalayavan, when he got down from his chariot, leaving all his Astra and Shastra, and started going towards our Krishna Bhagavan, here it is said that Krishna Bhagavan turned his back towards him. Iti nischitya Yavanaha pradravanta parangmukham. Pradravanta parangmukham. The moment Yavana Kalayavan decided it is Krishna, Krishna turned his back. And then what did he do? He started, Anvadhavajji drukshustam durapamapi yoginam. He turned around and he started running like a mad fellow. And Yavana Maharaj also running after him. And he could not get him. And while he is running, our Yavana Maharaj, he is saying, yaar, this does not suit you, yaar. You running, ruk kar, ladai kar. कहाँ भाग रहा है? Narad told me that you are such a great warrior and you got so much strength. Ruk! And भागे जा रहा है. And he is abusing, he is requesting him, he is asking him to give him a proper fight. But Krishna Bhagavan, he knows कि रुक गया तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. भागो. और वो कहाँ गया? हाँ, तो the mountain that he went to, that is also in Gujarat. That's why Ranchhod Das ji, the name of God, Lord as Rand Chhod Das. It's a in Gujarat it is very popular. बाकी सब जगह पे South India में probably people have not heard. But Rand Chhod Das, because that mountain, he came running from there away from his enemy to Gujarat. Dwarka is also there only, but it is on the border of Rajasthan and Gujarat, this particular place. And and the reason that he could not touch the Lord was because he had done so many bad karmas in his life, that the demerit that he has collected in his life, the sins that he has collected in his life, they are not allowing him to even have a single touch, a sparsh, because sparsh of the Lord itself is cleansing. Now think of this in this way. We have seen photograph of the Lord and for everything, isn't it? But when we close our eyes and we want to behold the beautiful form of the Lord, is it coming or is it not coming? If it is not coming, Yavana Maharaj is it is because of our impurity. Not your impurity, because of the impurity of the mind. So does that mean that we stop trying to bring the mind should stop trying to bring the picture of the Lord in the mind if it is not coming? No, keep trying. In that trying itself, one day suddenly the mind will become purified and the picture of the Lord or the form of the Lord will become reveal itself. Sometimes you must have seen, you want to remember someone, so many people, sometimes people say, Swamiji, phone आया, कौन है भाई? मैं हूँ. मैं कौन? मैं हूँ. मैं करने का, how do I know who is मैं? Then they tell the name. I said, suppose Narayan. कौन से? Narayan Bhagwan, Narayan Pai, Narayan this, Narayan that. I know so many Narayan. Which one are you? हमें वही वाला. अब कौन सा वाला यार? And then he has to, and then I'm trying to picture, because so many people you meet, and I'm trying to picture. Scanning चल रही है, पर वो आता ही नहीं. And then suddenly all the unwanted thoughts go away as the things become clear. He says, Swamiji, I met you in that place, in this, and you get, then suddenly you don't create the picture, but the face pops up in your mind, isn't it? Exactly the same thing happens. The Lord will also pop up in your mind. It's a revelation. You cannot say, I remembered that face. No, you did not do anything, you idiot. You only tried to remember and you have failed at it. But because your focus was so strong to find out, all the doubts were kept at bay. And suddenly, because doubts were not there, confusion was not there, that face popped up. Exactly the same thing. It's a technology. Exactly the same thing happens on the seat of meditation also. Exactly the same thing happens with the name of the Lord also. And you have to keep applying. With faith, with sincerity, with feeling, with love. Then, otherwise, tape recorder is also applying continuously. Hare Ram, log laga ke rakhte na, oh, nothing happens to that fellow. If our mind also is chanting Om, 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 कई बार देखते हैं हम आश्रमों में Om, 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 Om. एक बार मैं किसी के साथ गया in Mathura. I was staying in Vrindavan for 2 months, 3 months I stayed there. And the person whom I stayed with, he said, I have taken Anushthan of Gayatri. I said, अच्छा, ठीक है, अभी लिया है. What is the Anushthan? Every day 1,000 times I have to chant Gayatri mantra. I said, okay. So we said, okay, let's go for a walk. यार मेरे को one day he said, I have to finish this, I have to finish that, I said, okay. Why don't you do it on the banks of the Yamuna Ji? We'll go for a walk and there one Mahatma is there. We'll meet him and then when the Sandhya Savai comes, you take shower now and then by the Yamuna Ji you do your Anushthan. Okay. He says, नहीं ज़्यादा टाइम लगेगा. मैंने कहा क्या मतलब? ठीक है. I was sitting in the ashram and he went away, went to the river, sat down. I was watching. माला ले ली. And we were 15 minutes. He was back 1,000 times Gayatri. मैंने कहा ये कौन सा अनुष्ठान है? नहीं हाँ भुर 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 भुर. But he is told there is एक पद गायत्री, द्विपद गायत्री, त्रिपद गायत्री, different gayatris are there. He says I do एक पद गायत्री. एक पद गायत्री is only Om. So he said, I said even if you do एक पद गायत्री, no, it is allowed. It is allowed because when you chant Om Bhurbhuva Swaha, the goal of Om Bhurbhuva Swaha is not to that. It must come to Om only. But even to chant 1,000 Oms, he must have gone very fast.
No gap.
No, it has to be done with awareness, not like what do you call, like a Speedy Gonzales. So here, that point is clear, how things happen. What is this? I'm just thinking loudly here. So this Yavana is not able to touch Lord Sri Krishna because of the sins that he has collected in his life. He was a very cruel fellow. And then as he is running, he could not get at him, and as this run chase was going on, suddenly the Lord ran fast and entered into a mountain cave. And when he went inside the cave, the Yavan Maharaj is following him, he is also running, and when he goes into the cave, he doesn't find Krishna Bhagavan, but he finds one person who is lying there on the floor with a cloth on top. And what is Krishna Bhagavan doing? He must have hidden behind. तो ऐसे ही है भगवान अपने कहीं ना कहीं छुप जाते हैं, अपने दिमाग में भी छुप जाते हैं जाके कहीं किसी. He is always there behind something if you are ready to seek him. So he goes and hides himself behind a rock. And this fellow says, Acha, you have made me run all the way, and now you are tired, so you have hidden your face and hiding under the cloth and resting. And he gives a kick to that lying body. When he gives the kick to the lying body, who was lying there? Muchukunda, King Muchukunda was there. And he is lying there, and he has got, the moment someone disturbs you, anyway, I'll tell you all that later, but he kicks, the moment he wakes up, his eyes fall on Yavana Maharaj, and immediately the Agni that comes out of his eyes destroys Kalayavan, and he is killed. Nobody else could kill him, only he could kill. Now here, whenever someone is sleeping, one thing is don't kick them, otherwise भस्म हो जाओगे. दूसरी बात और क्या हो सकता है? See, when we are sleeping, we are body disidentified. We are body disidentified. And a sudden jerk, how do you wake up? When you wake up in the morning, how do you? Suddenly you come out of the bed? No. First inside your mind, you become awake, you become aware of the body, and then maybe 2-3 minutes and it all happens. But when a sudden jerk comes, a person can die. Because consciousness has dropped the body, and it may say, in that shock of a kick or shaking or someone screaming, Yado! That consciousness will say, you keep Yado, I will go. It will escape. Escape means it will forget that it has to come out of the shock. Not the pure consciousness, this is the jiva. Because out of fear you can kill a person if you do that. And therefore, उठ जा, सो जा राम दुलारे, और उठने के लिए भी सुप्रभातम गाना पड़ता है. हाँ? And in this way, so waking up slowly, opening his eyes, the man who had been long asleep gazed all around and beheld Yavana standing by his side. And the moment he looked at him, his body immediately fell down in a heap of ash. And this way, Yavana Maharaj was destroyed. And this, our Muchukund was a king, and this king had helped the gods for many times. Now this is the story. Next, now the Rajovacha, को नाम सुपुमान् ब्रह्मन् कस्य किं वीर्य एव च कस्मात् गुहां गतः शिष्ये किं तेजो यवनार्दनः. Oh, so Rajovacha, Parikshit Maharaj is asking the question, who was that man, what was that man called, who killed the Yavana, O holy Brahmana, and to whose race did he belong, what kind of prowess did he possess in reality, wherefore did he go to, why did he go to sleep, and whose progeny was he, means what was his lineage, please tell me, O Lord. Parikshit Maharaj is telling Shukdev Ji Maharaj, what is the time?
8:15.
8:15. Okay. ये स्टोरी कंप्लीट करके निकल जाते हैं मतलब खाने के लिए. तो श्री शुक उवाच. हाँ, स इक्ष्वाकुकुले जातो मान्धातृतनयो महान् मुचुकुन्द इति ख्यातो ब्रह्मण्य सत्यसंगरः स याचितः सुरगणैः इन्द्राद्यैरात्मरक्षणे असुरेभ्य परित्रस्तैः तद्रक्षां सोऽकरो चिरं लब्ध्वा गुहं ते स्वपालं मुचुकुन्दमथ ब्रुवन् राजन् विरमतां कृच्छ्रान् भवाननः परिपालनात् नरलोके परित्यज्य राज्यं निहतकण्टकम् अस्मान् पालयतो वीर कामास्ते सर्व उञ्झिताः सुता महिष्यो भवतो ज्ञातयो मात्यमन्त्रिणः प्रजाश्च कालीया नाधुना सन्ति कालिताः कालो बलीयान् बलिनां भगवान् ईश्वरो व्ययः प्रजा कालयते क्रीडन् पशुपालो यथा पशून् वरं वृणीष्व भद्रं ते ऋते कैवल्यमद्यनः एक एवैश्वरस्तस्य भगवान् विष्णुरव्ययः एवमुक्त स वै देवान् अविद्य महावशाः हशयिष्टो निद्रया देवदत्तया स्वापं यातं यस्तु मध्ये बोधये त्वामचेतनः स त्वया दृष्टमात्रस्तु भस्मी भवतु तत्क्षणात्. So sa Ikshvaku kule jato manda trutanayo mahan. So this Muchukund was born in the clan of Ikshvaku, and he was one of the great sons of Mandhata. Who has seen Mandhata? Who has come to know Mandhata? Those who have come to Kailash, on one side of the Mansarovar is Kailash, and on the other side is Mandhata mountain. So that Mandhata, and this Muchukund was extremely devoted to the Brahmanas, and he always lived the vachan or the words that he had given to anyone. and he was requested to protect the gods when they were once being attacked by the asuras, and went, and for many years, till Kartikeya came. Till Kartikeya came to become the Senapati of the Devas. Till that time, Muchukunda acted as the guardian of the Devas. See? And after Kartikeya was appointed as the Dev Senapati, then now his position has become redundant. Now what to do? Please go back to earth. But but the gods say that when you go back, there is nothing there, because from the time that you have come, so many cycles have passed, and you are here. The cycle of time in heavens is different, and the cycle of or movement of time on earth is different. Since you have been busy protecting us for so long, and having completely renounced your kingdom on the mortal plane, which had all the enemies wiped out, all your enjoyments have ceased, meaning your wife, your children, your kingdom, your wealth, your palaces, your kingdom, everything has gone and merged into dust. This we saw in Tripura Rahasya also, in one of the stories when Swamiji is taking it. And not only that, in the 17th verse he says that Naraloke parityajya rajyam nihata kantakam asman palayato vira kamaste sarva unjitaha. He says, your sons and wives and relations and ministers and counselors and citizens and people of your time whom you left and came to help us, none of that remains anymore. So what to do? He says, nobody, Indra Bhagavan is saying, the gods are saying that nobody is greater than the time. Time destroys everything. Remember in Tripura Rahasya also, he is taken into the cave, and when he comes out, no, everything has changed. And how much time he went into the cave? Only for 1 or 2 minutes. But by the time he comes out of the cave, all gone. So in time everything is created, and just in sport the time destroys everything, and but you have helped us gods. O Muchukund, you have helped us gods, so all our blessings to you. Ask us for a boon. Ask us for इतने साल काम कर लिया, नींद आ रही, मैं सोया नहीं इतने दिनों से. What do you want? I want to rest. So he asks for rest. So they give him this cave and tell him that you go and rest there. And if anyone comes to disturb you, and if your vision falls on him, that disturbance will get destroyed. That disturbance will get, this boon also they give him. Krishna Bhagavan knows it. Krishna Bhagavan knows it. And he utilizes that boon of Muchukunda to destroy this indestructible Kalayavan. And in this way, the boon was given. Now what happens after that? After Kalayavan has been converted into ashes, then what does Shri Krishna do? We will see in our next class, next week. Or we can read this. No, abhi nahi, aage kafi hai. We'll do it next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.